Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. Jimmy Failla is here. We have survived. People went looking for us, and thank God we made it all back in two pieces.
A lot of people lost money on this. For those of you who regularly consume this show, and it should be mandated by law at this point.
Maybe in Zohran Mamdani's
it might be.
New York, yeah.
Yeah, not that
They'll force people to listen to this.
Not that you'll be allowed to broadcast in public as a woman.
No.
But it'll be Kennedy Saves the World, hosted by Jimmy Failla. But
From inside my burqa.
Hello.
I love socialism. This is really great, you guys.
The way we talked on
Bind my feet.
the way we were talking last week as we were getting ready to shove off for the 4th of July, like I actually felt threatened by my rhetoric. I was in a bad place. I was like,
Did you get a call?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
No, a call. Hey, you can't say that. And I wish. That'd be funny.
Hi, Jim. This is HR.
Jimmy. Anyhow, but no, stick with me. I was like so at my wits' end this week. Now I'm happy. When you see Jimmy in a black T-shirt, like I'm in a good place. I'm here today in a good place.
I thought maybe you would join the Greasers.
No. I'm actually, you know what, it just dawned on me.
You look very You look more rockabilly in this than you do in your rockabilly shirts.
I oddly do. And let me just add to that, because this is what just dawned on me, and this is why I'm so thrown. Okay? I'm actually dressed like Louis C.K. I never do stand-up in jeans and a black T-shirt. And I think that's why everybody was so weirded out as I was walking into the studio. They weren't sure if I was going to pull it out or something. Like, what's going on here? What's happening? But I'm back. I'm here. Good to see you.
My favorite thing about that was Louis C.K. would ask people for permission. He's like, I got consent.
Yeah.
And it just puts people in such an awkward position. Like, hey... Do you mind if I just flap it right here in front of you? It's like,
Now, I know you said you're a vegan, but what if I just choke the chicken? If we don't kill it and eat it, what if I just, and it's,
throw a little meat on the grill.
It's a weird one. People have odd habits. I don't know.
But isn't it funny that there are people who survived MeToo? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's still on Fox. I know you've interviewed him. I've interviewed him. He's the same guy.
Yeah, no pants. But no, I'm kidding. There he was. I'm kidding. We don't know that. But yeah, I mean, the one thing I can tell you is, as I think Me Too, really quickly, became sort of like, in the beginning, it was like actual justice. And then it did turn into almost like a quest for scalps.
Yeah, like Chris Hardwick's girlfriend was
do you remember that?
Yeah, and he made me get hair extensions, and then I got a boob job. Like, he didn't ask me to, but I did, and I felt othered. And it's like, oh my God.
After I dumped him, I heard a song on the radio that reminded of him, and I cried. Yeah. And they were like, he should never work again.
Yes.
And we're like, is anyone listening to themselves?
Yeah.
Yes. And again, a lot of people had to go and thankfully went.
Amen.
But, every social justice initiative eventually morphs into a branding exercise. So it's rooted out in good. But over the course of time, it creates a victimhood currency that people try to latch on to.
So what's really funny is the left was guilty of what happened during the French Revolution, the Reign of Terror.
Yeah.
Because at first it started out like, we got to get the Harvey Weinsteins and the Matt Lauers and the Roger Ailes out of the buildings. They're all bad for business. They're horrible for women. They're bad people. They're predators. Gone. And then it turned into like the Chris Hardwicks, who maybe was in an uncomfortable relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what the left, that they were guilty of. They're now saying that's what ICE is doing. ICE is like, no, we're just Me Tooing child rapists. And they're like, no, you're not. Like my nanny. Yeah, she's the hard worker. Don't you dare take her.
It's so crazy that when you make that point, it's like everything they're going to bat for. It's like, I'm obviously not a political strategist, but it's like politics 101 is you're supposed to pretend to care about the people who are going to vote for you.
Yeah.
But if you just do that, like, you don't have to mean it, and I don't believe most of them do.
No.
But time was. The whole political chasm was like, hey, I'm a Republican, my buddy's a Democrat, but deep down, we both know these people are only in it for themselves. And that was always the thing. But now we literally ostracize people from our lives because we're like, screw you, I'm with these people who are only in it for themselves.
Yeah.
How can you be with those people who are only in it for themselves? What's wrong with you?
Or I'm in it for the little guy. I want to protect the little guy. That's why, AOC is like, I'm going to make sure that Amazon is not building a giant facility in my district that would employ hundreds, maybe thousands of people who could finally afford housing.
Forget the little guy who might be able to open a restaurant or work at one or have his whole neighborhood revitalized. What we need around here are migrant hookers. And man, guys, I mentioned this a lot on this Fox platform, but as a cab driver, I cannot emphasize that enough. It's created a genre of cab ride, okay? If you're a hotel cabbie means you have a hotel you go to at the beginning of your shift every day. You hand the guy out front that's directing traffic a 20, and he gets you a JFK. And you're a guy who does JFK runs.
Okay.
So you're going to JFK, you're waiting in the lot. When you come back, wherever you drop off in the city, you're getting in line to do it. You're doing JFKs, okay? The nighttime hooker fare is called, they do AOCs. For real. There's a guy, Manny. It's like, wait, you seen Manny lately? No, he's never around. He does JFKs. They now say, have you seen Manny lately? No, he's doing AOCs. He's never around.
So taking people to Roosevelt Avenue in Queens.
Yeah, Jackson Avenue, Elmhurst, that whole area. Migrant hookers.
Aren't
because
people
what
worried? This is the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Aren't people worried about microbes?
It's disgusting.
Are they not worried? Sure, maybe they use condoms, but like scabies.
It's sad. It's gross.
Bed bugs.
It's the saddest thing in the world. I can tell you this is a hooker.
Crotch lice.
When I was a little kid.
Which, I guess that's crabs, but crabs, scabies, hepatitis. Like there are so many things you can get just from touching skin.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, for real.
Imagine taking that home to your wife and being like, obviously you gave me crabs.
Imagine.
Darlene.
I know. Hold on a second. But it's so gross, and I will tell you this. That is a genre of cab ride now. And the reason it is actually happening is because it's outside the city. So it's for people that are in the city or people that are tourists that are like looking for that action. They're all also escaping what might be more scrutiny here in Manhattan.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
There's more cameras and stuff going on.
Are there hookers in Manhattan?
Yes. But
remember when we were kids in like the 80s and you would see hookers in movies and I was always like, ooh, hookers.
Yeah, wow.
And then the first time I came to New York when I was a junior in high school, I was like, where are the hookers?
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted to see like real prostitutes in action.
That's funny.
And I never saw any.
In old school Times Square and on 8th Avenue, they used to call 8th Avenue the Minnesota Strip. The reason they called it the Minnesota Strip is most of the people turning tricks were like started out as teen runaways that wound up being dope addicts.
God, that's so sad.
No, that's a real thing. But in Times Square
No, that's so sad that I didn't take advantage of that as a teen from Oregon who actually probably could have put myself through a couple years.
So hold on a second. On the Minnesota Strip, 8th Ave, it's so funny. That's where the male hookers were, the female hookers were. When they cleaned up Times Square, for real, like Giuliani came in.
Yeah.
All they did was they pushed it out of high traffic areas. Most of it went to the internet. So like most of the hookers, for real, if you were a cab driver, you were dropping people off at brownstones. And when you dropped off enough people in a night at the same brownstone who didn't know each other, you eventually realized you weren't taking people home. You know, so that was a big thing. So there's a brownstone on 46, so funny, right on Restaurant Row on 46th and 9th.
Okay.
There is a brownstone. Do you remember when they had like the New York Press and the Village Voice and the hookers would advertise in them?
Yeah.
So there's a brownstone. It was a Filipino transvestite brothel. And it was like
that is niche.
10 girls who looked the same because they got the same plastic surgery would chip in on an ad and turn tricks out of that brownstone. And it's so funny because my buddy Dean Imperial, who you know, said they used to run up the stairs like optimistic and they used to come out philosophical. Like, what did go on in there, big man? And that was a thing. But they basically reduced the appearance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Most of the street hookers in New York now.
It's like a scene out of White Lotus.
Amen. Most of the street hookers in New York now are on Lexington. You could see them in the low 30s, high 20s. And then AOC, though, changed the game. It'd be really fascinating to me, like if she runs at a national level, I would love to grab like a camera crew and go show you like the underworld of her district. Because like she really like... You know, people say these guys don't care or whatever, but she like really effed over her district.
Yeah.
Because what happens is people don't want to spend money or go shopping with their kids if there's a hooker out front.
Yeah.
Never mind the crime and the drugs that come with it, but her district, like specifically, is like probably the worst neighborhood in New York right now.
Yeah, and if Mamdani is elected,
God.
No one's going to prison. He wants to empty the prisons. Like that was one of his big policy positions a few years ago was abolish prisons, abolish cops.
Yeah, close the jails.
Yeah, close the jails, you guys. And tax some billionaires.
It's so funny, like, 'cause there's this shift going on, right? where, we like to make fun of ourselves a lot. And traditionally, and I say this, half self-deprecating, but half for real. We'd always say, like, guys like me are the dumber ones because we're not, like, super educated, and I drove a cab and went to community college. But the actual true stupid in society now, that monopoly belongs to the most educated people in, like, elite college academia. They're stupid people.
Yeah.
And that's who elected him because they think they're helping the poor who didn't vote for him. Yeah. They think they're helping the black community who didn't vote for them.
Yeah, because they know they've been to this rodeo.
Yeah. But woke white people are like, no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Latinos and migrants, like legal immigrants, that shift to the Republican Party is profound because they see the Democrats doing the thing they fled.
They're like, no, we were living in Venezuela. We were living in Cuba.
We don't want this.
Real socialism / communism, it sucks.
Yeah. Hey,
like the government-run grocery stores are horrible.
I mean, really think about that. And that's what they're recreating is what a lot of people in that group fled.
Yeah.
And it's woke white people. Woke white people are the problem. The elite academia, they are the problem now. And it's funny because we'd be like, oh, community college, we're dumb. We didn't do any of this shit. We did not do this.
So finally, I can start calling people honkies again if
I
they're
can't
wearing
wait.
Yale gear.
Oh, the one thing is, all those Jewish slurs you used to like to use, they're bad. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What do you mean we're fired? We're kidding. But Mamdani, we wouldn't be fired. We'd get hired.
Yeah.
He'd be like spoken like a true campaign surrogate. Get out of here, brother. Jimmy, we love you, brother.
All right. Well,
white devil.
Yeah. Rich white devils are the new enemy. You heard the it list here first. All right, we got to get the hell out of here. This has been Kennedy Saves the World along with Jimmy Failla. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.